what then becomes of the legacy of Diddy?
You know, it's a complicated legacy. And first of all, the work is the work. What he did is what he did in terms of fostering the expression of a Mary J. Blige, of a Biggie. Those two alone
By themselves.
have changed the landscape. But then you throw in Jodeci. You throw in, so many others that this man facilitated. So at that level, the level of the work is ingenious. Now, the hatred of the misogyny against women, especially women of color, is real too. But that's imbricated. That's implicated in the very existence of hip hop and the church. It's right, because we know can't stand up here because you have not been ordained. You're a woman. You can't speak from this church. That's polite sexism, but it's still patriarchy at its worst. And so when you ask where they learned it from when they're in church, when they say you can't step up here. And this woman got a PhD. This dude ain't been to college, but God bless him. He got a hoop and a horn. But at the same time, he is to be deferred to in a way that the woman who has gained that knowledge cannot even be acknowledged for. That is a deeply sexist moment in a patriarchal culture. Now, that doesn't mean, therefore, we let Diddy off the hook, because what he did against Cassie is evil and wrong. At the same time, when we look at the legal system where others have been treated in a different way, we know he was mistreated in a racist fashion, in terms of whether or not he could even get out of jail while he's awaiting trial, or even now.
Yes.
Right? And he was, a predominantly white jury sneered at the prosecutors. Rico? Right? Dave Chappelle said, I can be a Rico and you one man, right?
Yourself.
Now, that is not for those who are listening, and I don't want any feminists or womanists to think, oh my God, of course, he would dismiss the evil, the malevolence against women will not be solved in the Diddy case. That would be easy. The deeper issue is, can we look at a culture that produced a Diddy on a daily basis to believe that women's lives were disposable? And in this culture, we learn that at every level. How do we resist that? How do we speak about a feminist ethic that would interrogate the critical patriarchal practices that pass for common sense, that pass for, boys will be boys. So we want to acknowledge that. At the same time, in a culture that has what they call carceral logic, imprisoning people based upon certain principles, we know that it's always been unjust toward us. And just because we hate what Diddy did and despise the consequences of his actions doesn't mean simultaneously that the criminal justice system has been disposed against us from the get-go.